Today kicked off the Bio International Conference for biotech and pharma executives, taking place at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center. Our own Ann Mostu moderated one of the panels today between, I think, 2 and 3 o'clock, and Ann joins us now live. Ann, do tell.
Yes, Joe, Tom, and Kim, it was a really interesting day here at Bio. This is an enormous conference, at least 25,000 people. And essentially, the panel today that I did was great. It's a topic top of mind for most people in the industry, raising capital in tough markets. So it's a panel of CFOs and CEOs. This was an off-the-record conversation, but these were public companies: Insmed, Apellis, Resolute Bio, and Deciphera Pharma. And they talked very openly about how they've faced data that were disappointing in the last couple of years, disappointing to both scientists and investors, and a cash crunch, and the mechanics involved in pursuing and securing secondary offerings and future financing. And they just talked about strategy and also investor relations. So it was a very, very well-received panel. A lot of folks in the audience were CFOs, interested to hear how people are staying afloat. And then earlier this week, I caught up with really the heads of it all: Kendall Berlin O'Connell, CEO of MassBio, and Rachel King, CEO of Bio International, the conference organizer. And I started by asking King to give a sense of how the Bio conference is significant.
Bio is the world's largest international biotechnology conference, and we're thrilled to be back in Boston this year. It's the founding city of many really important biotechnology companies, and so it's a great opportunity for us to gather the community, the international community in Boston.
For us here in Massachusetts, it's our opportunity to welcome the world to the #1 life science ecosystem anywhere. We really get to showcase all the amazing innovation that's happening right here in Massachusetts. And last time the conference was here, it was in 2018, and I believe we had 22,000 attendees.
Yeah, we do think the conference this year is going to be one of the biggest ever. So we're expecting a lot of people there. And as we said, from all around the world, not only meeting and networking, but attending sessions. And we also do a big partnering effort at the conference. And we expect there are going to be over 45,000 individual partnering meetings that are set up through the conference. So there will be a lot of opportunities for people to gather and to network, to share ideas, and to look to the future together.
Now, biotech went through its IPO boom. Now the shakeout is sort of underway. Industry stocks falling for the past 2 years, public debuts cooling. What do you think is ahead?
Well, I would say, biotech has been through many cycles over many years. There are ebbs and flows in biotechnology, as there are in many industries. At the same time, I think that we're continuing to deliver really important treatments and in some cases cures to patients. And so the industry, I think, is going to continue to thrive even as we come out of this particular mini, let's call it a downturn that has happened. But the scientific innovations continue to be very important and exciting, and these are going to continue to drive new treatments. So I think biotechnology's industry is going to continue to thrive.
Yeah, and here in Massachusetts, we've weathered this storm many times. As I mentioned earlier, the #1 life science ecosystem in the world. We have over 1,000 biotech companies right here in Massachusetts. And, we are continuing to see strong company creation. We've seen over $3 billion of VC investment come to Massachusetts headquarter companies so far this year. So yes, the landscape looks a little different than it did in 2020, 2021, but we are continuing to see, importantly, innovation continue to be funded and happening here in Massachusetts. So I do think the second half of the year, we'll see a little bit of loosening.
Now, there has been the good news of movement of manufacturing here in the U.S. and in particularly here in Massachusetts. I've done a few stories on Central Mass, new facilities opening up to manufacture drugs. What do you see in terms of that ahead?
So I really think that manufacturing, particularly biomanufacturing, is the next chapter for life sciences here in Massachusetts. We are the perfect location to host your biomanufacturing, right? Companies who have their R&D located, whether it's in Cambridge, Boston, or anywhere. We have geography on our side. So to be able to do your biomanufacturing in close proximity is really, really important. So when you think of the future of this industry here in Massachusetts, that's where we really need to continue to invest. Make sure Massachusetts is a destination for manufacturing.
And this is an area, too, where the federal government plays an important role. And biomanufacturing actually is a priority for the current administration. So there are good things that do sometimes come out of the public policy world. We're also facing some challenges at the same time with some recent legislation, in particular the drug pricing negotiations out of the Inflation Reduction Act. But I think with respect to biomanufacturing, we do certainly appreciate the administration's support. And it's great to see places like Massachusetts that have such a strong presence where I'm sure we can continue to build.
And then one more question. There are obviously going to be very large companies and smaller private companies at Bio. What do you think they're hoping to get out of the conference?
Well, this is where the partnering really is so important. As I said a moment ago, we're going to expect to have over 45,000 individual meetings scheduled. So the way the partnering works at the Bio Convention is that small companies and large companies and academic institutions, for that matter, can all participate and use the system to match interested parties. So it's actually really exciting to watch. If you're on the floor there, you see people going in and out of these meeting rooms. You hear the bells when the meetings change, and it's really a wonderful opportunity. We also have what we call stand-up stadium, where we have companies that are presenting. So these are opportunities for companies to basically tell their story to potential investors. So there are a lot of things that we're doing to really showcase companies at all different stages of development and to facilitate their getting together with potential partners.
Yeah, the exciting thing about the Bio Convention being here in Massachusetts is we get to convene, connect, and catalyze our entire ecosystem under this conference, right? So many emerging biotechs. This is their chance to get in front of potential partners, potential investors, potential collaborators in just a few days. It's really, really exciting.
And one of the other things that's exciting about being in Massachusetts is that not only, as Kendall just said, not only do we have a lot of emerging companies in Massachusetts, but Massachusetts also has some wonderful examples of companies that were emerging at one point and have successfully actually gone through the very long process of raising money, developing drugs, and actually getting them on the market and delivering them to patients. So it's not only a place where there's a lot starting, but a place where a lot has already been accomplished. So it's really an inspiration, I think, to a lot of the smaller, newer companies to be having this convention here in Boston.
Yeah, there has been a lot of support in the form of grants and things like that lately from obviously federal, state, and local governments.
Absolutely. Their sentiment time and time again is they don't want us to just maintain our leadership position in the life sciences, but they really want to help us extend our lead. I might just say, and we're really, really excited to have the incredible support from the Healy administration for this event, as well as Mayor Wu and so many other leaders around the Commonwealth. But this, again, is our opportunity to showcase the strength of the Massachusetts life science ecosystem. So to have our partners in government showing up in full force is just truly incredible.
I would add that we've got some really exciting keynote speakers, and there were two that I would highlight. Katie Couric is going to be coming, and her presence at the convention is really important because of all the work that she's done as a patient advocate. I think it's important for all of us. I know many people in their individual work really keep the patients front of mind. And so having her speak about the journey as a caregiver and as a patient herself is going to be really important and I think impactful to people who are listening. The other keynote that I would highlight is with Dr. Califf, the commissioner of the FDA. And one of the things that we are really fortunate to have in the United States is a regulatory agency that really is the gold standard for the world. And to have him join us in Boston and to share some of his views about the importance of standing up for science, which is our theme for the convention, I think is also going to be very meaningful to attendees today.
Again, that's Rachel King, CEO of Bio International, which is putting on this conference of about 20 to 25,000 people, and Kendall Berlin O'Connell, CEO of Mass Bio.